back yet. Maybe she's at work, right?
Probably. All right. I'm so excited to have you on, Kari.
So excited to be on. Are you kidding? When she messaged me and asked me, I was like, yes, heck yes. I love your team. These are like my favorite people.
Thank you. We love you too.
Oh, thank you.
I know you're your animal, Kari.
Mm-hmm. My what?
You're our spirit animal.
Oh, you're so sweet. Well, that's because probably Adrienne and I are a lot alike. But if you were attracted to your sponsor, well, we're a little bit alike. So like attracts like. We're both a really good solid blue. Actually, funny enough, blue's my third color. It's not my first color. You
What's
would
your
think,
first?
because you guys, yellow.
Yellow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like
we're all
60,
yellows.
Yeah, I knew that. I'm like 64 yellow. I'm like 61 red. I have a lot of red. That's why I like get Nicole Marshall. She's really red too, right? And in an excellent kind of way, or I wouldn't be here. And then blue, and then green. Yeah.
All right.
I
Has
think
everyone-
my red is the last. Very little red. I got to work on my red.
And red's not always the greatest color unless it's a refined red or a learned red, right? Like my red took some refining, big time. Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so let's get started. We've got Laura, Janet, Shishi, awesome. Okay, and we are recording. Great. So Adrienne didn't really tell me, Kari, what she kind of wanted you to do. So you've got the floor. I'm just going to hand it over to you. Laura, I don't know if you know Kari, but she is supremely awesome. She's just like awesome leading her team out in Arizona. When I met her on a Zoom, I don't even remember how long ago it was, I was like, oh, she's a triple diamond already. Like, she is amazing. And then when I met her in person, she was a distributor rank, just like me. And I was like, wait, what? Because she just spoke so, like, just on such a higher level. And I was like, there is no way she's not like a triple diamond or something. But she was a distributor rank, and she just went double diamond by doing weekly wrap parties, really, right, Kari? Just weekly wrap parties. And her team would invite people, and so she's here to share with us all her amazing knowledge and everything. And she is just, like Shishi was saying, she is definitely my spirit animal, and I just love her so much. And she's just amazing. So Kari, take it away.
Oh, I love you guys too so much. Thank you so much for having me. You guys are the sweetest. I appreciate you so much. Well, what you said was just so humbling about meeting me and thinking I was a triple and I was a distributor just like you. But what I'll tell you is I wasn't an instant success. I had a lot of things in my mind when I first got started with network marketing. Nicole Marshall is my sponsor. We're friends from high school. And I was her loyal customer for a long time. And I was a happy, loyal customer. I'm a nurse for 20 years. And I'm a mom of 3 high schoolers. I'm a wife. We volunteer in 3 different areas at our church. All 5 of us. And certainly network marketing was the last thing on my radar. I didn't think I had time for this, and I didn't. And I didn't think that this was for me. Of course, I didn't think I needed another job. I already had one. And so I was a very red hot no to Nicole Marshall, but she relentlessly pursued me. And I thank her for that all the time. I'm the girl that almost unfollowed her on social media because I couldn't stand all of the green and the bling. I was like, do you know how outdated bling is? And now I'm like covered in it at every opportunity because it makes us so much money. But, and I just was like, it's out of the question. And, the greens healed my life forever. I suffered from autoimmune disease, and I tried the greens and the hair, skin, and nails, and the rest is history. I'm a walking testimony of what these products can do. But when I came in, I still had a lot of preconceived notions about network marketing. So although I loved the products and I believed in them wholeheartedly and what they could do, I didn't believe in the business. And so not only did I not believe in it, I tried to hide it from everybody that knew me, which means I would post about the products on social media, but I never asked anybody to join my team. So I had like 25 loyal customers my first month, but I didn't have any distributors for many, many months. And I kept asking, how do you get distributors to sign up with you? And Nicole said, well, they'll just trust you and they'll just join you. But what she forgot to teach me is you have to ask. But I couldn't ask because then they would know I'm a network marketer. And I was like, now what do I do? So I went to conference because she said I had to. And when I went to conference, I was excited and I was open and I dragged my husband with me. And everything I saw and heard at that conference experience is what cemented me here for life and showed me so much more about this company than what I thought it was. So it's serving, it's giving, it's sharing, it's putting others in front of yourself, and it's being selfless with this opportunity that we have. And that awareness brought me home from conference 2017. And I prayed in bed that night and I said, Lord, I know you're calling me to do this. I know that you've called me specifically to this place. I knew for so many different spiritual reasons that this is where I was supposed to be, but I had no brain cell for how to do this business from a build a big team perspective. And as I was praying, the Lord said, be bold and be brave. And I thought, well, like I heard it. And I thought, well, certainly bold, those of you that know me, there's nothing I won't say, but I wasn't being bold and brave with this. So that next morning, with the encouragement of my best friend, Nicole, or Michelle Niseth, taught me to prayer journal. And I sat down with this prayer journal right here that is filled with oodles and oodles and oodles of pages of prayers, not knowing where to begin. And I asked the Lord to bless this business. I asked him to grow me a team in my backyard. I asked him to bring people that were inspirational and excited and motivated and kind and enthusiastic and that also had a heart for the Lord. I just asked for all these incredible things. And now fast forward 2 years later, looking back and reading through this journal, almost every single one of the things I asked for, he's been so faithful to fulfill. So I would say for me, first and foremost, I have to thank God for what he's done in our life, our family, with our finances and with our team. But with that comes belief. So I had to believe that I belonged to something worth sharing. And that took a little bit of time. It took me a year to go Ruby. And then I sat at Ruby for a year and a half. And you guys, Tiffany Pasek is doing a TNT opportunity call or no training call on Thursday night. So tomorrow night, and she's interviewing me on that call, and I'll explain a little bit more about belief, and I don't want to ruin it for you because that's on the call tomorrow night. Something that she said to me did my lip, and I shared it with a couple of my distributors who kind of have gotten in a slump, and it's kind of what helped me get out of my Ruby rut. And I felt like I had been kind of stuck there for about a year and a half. But I'll say, Dory was right. Last year in July, after learning to ask people, having people join my team, it was beginning to be successful, but it wasn't the kind of team I was looking for. I'm looking for gangster money. Like I had decided that this was going to be something that was going to take me out of my nursing job and help me pay cash for my daughter's college. I told you guys I have 3 high schoolers, so we're going to be looking at over $50,000 a year stuff for the girls. So I realized that everybody was saying that they partied their way to success. And I didn't understand what that meant. Like, how do you have a party if you don't have anybody coming? Like in every other arena of your life, when you have a party, you don't schedule a party unless you have a group of people who said that, yes, they could come that day. And so it's the exact opposite. I realized you have to set one day a week that you open up your home no matter what. And you spend your entire week just getting somebody to your house on Tuesdays at 7. So that's what we did. I said, you know what? If it's just me and Mike and Daisy and Mitch, my one of the leaders in my team, we're just going to sit here and stare at each other and just dream about how we're going to do our business better. But we're going to work our butts off to get people to show up. And and that was last July. So last July I was a Ruby, and we set weekly wrap parties or sip and sample, whatever. And I would say in the beginning, we never had more than 1 or 2 people, if anybody at all. And it went for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And most people would have quit. And then all of a sudden that momentum took off, and it was like, they say, like pushing that boulder uphill for such a long time. You feel like this is so dumb. Who actually does this and who keeps doing the same thing and nothing changes? And all of a sudden the ball went rolling down the other side of the hill, and people started to show up at our house. Sometimes it started at 4 or 5 people. It got up to like 8 and 9 people. And now we are putting chairs in rows in my family room, and we're having like 18 to 20 people in the standing room only. And we're going to have to probably go to a public meeting room or something like that. And I know in a lot of cases that's not a huge number of people to have in some instances, but for us, it has created this fast duplication. The other thing that it has done is that the people who just got started with me back in September, so Tiffany Pembroke and Tracy Bowman, you guys have seen them in some of my posts and stuff, they came in knowing nothing. They'd never tried any products. They knew nothing. They just knew that they were in. And so I just said, just bring them on Tuesdays, get them in the chair. Don't tell them anything else. Just ask them to come. Tell them you got a great thing to show them. And then we'll take care of the rest. And that's how they grew from a distributor in September to a diamond this month. So Tracy Bowman just went diamond last month, and Tiffany Pembroke is almost at diamond for this month. And so that's how they did it. They just got people over to our house, and that's called third party. So when you take yourself out of the way, and so Tracy and Tiffany were taking themselves out of the way. They weren't trying to explain anything. They weren't trying to teach anything. They simply brought their guests to this place on Tuesday nights at 7. They knew all they had to do was find somebody, anybody, to get to this party on Tuesday nights at 7, and we would take care of the rest. And one after another, every single one of them signed up as customers and distributors. And so that was the secret to the fast multiplication. If you consider 10 months fast, because we've been doing these weekly wrap parties for 10 months. It'll be a year in July. So that was the secret to the local success. We have girls on our teams that are in this Sacramento, Hollister area near you guys, kind of, that just started in Northern California. We've got teams in Canada, and we've got some in Northern Arizona. So you can do the exact same thing on a Zoom. So it can be like a Tuesday try it presentation like this, though. I would do it as a Zoom so that you can talk about the products, how it makes you feel, let them ask questions, show them what it looks like, show them how it samples, demo the little dry wrap. And I've even taken before and after pictures that I printed in an 8x10 and gone like this in the screen so they could see them, or screen share. Y'all know how to screen share on Zoom. You can screen share the try it presentation on Zoom. And so that's how we did it for our folks that were out of state. And then they brought their people in to try those, the try it Zooms too. So we've also done a lot of Facebook Live events for people. So they might get, one girl had 36 people on a Facebook Live event that was just like the try it presentation that Tiffany Pasek does, that, her and Lori have done, and Leanne and Cammie just did one live the other night on Facebook. It's just, we just go right through the try it presentation and read it and then share our favorite products. The other thing I did every step of the way is edify my leaders. So I would edify Nicole and Tiffany. So I would say, you guys, you have to follow Nicole Marshall. She's a double diamond leader. She's in Oceanside, California. She's been with this business for how long? She's paid off over $70,000 in school loan debt. Her husband's an attorney, and his stamp of approval is on these products. It's changed her life. She used to have Hashimoto's and Crohn's. Now she's so healthy and beautiful and so healthy. You're going to have to follow her on Facebook because there's so much good information. And then if, you're going to have to get on the Zooms because she's going to talk and you're going to want to hear it. Same thing with Tiffany Pasek. Tiffany Pasek is our ambassador diamond leader. She's so intimately invested. She would answer you on Facebook if you sent her a question within 5 minutes. She's so tangible in so many leaders at that level aren't. And I would say really fun things like, and Tiffany Pasek is best friends with our owner's daughter, Cami, and you got to follow Cami on Facebook and really build up these leaders, because that's what Nicole did to me. And then you got to follow them and you got to watch their lives, because they will inspire you and encourage you and get you, inspired to go out and share this business. And so they all did. And they all became friends with Nicole, and they became friends with Tiffany, and they really were like hungry to connect with these people that I had told them are rock stars, and that it was people that they needed to grow and learn from. The other thing that comes to mind is I ask them when they get started on our team Zooms and stuff, does anybody want to be a Ruby? Does anybody want to have 3 business partners on their business and make about $500 a month? And almost everybody wants that. And so we work real hard to get their first couple customers. We work on who would be the people that they would want in their business, and then work on, helping them find those distributors. And then once they have gotten Ruby for themselves, the first thing I said to Tracy, to Tiffany, to Daisy is, now you know what Ruby looks like. You know how to get there. You know the 400s. You know it's a 2,000 group volume. You just did it. You know how to do it. Now go out there and help 2 people do exactly the same thing. So with your 3 distributors you have, which 2 of them want to be a Ruby also? It's that simple. So as soon as 2 of your girls say, yeah, I want to be a Ruby, I want to make $500 a month-ish, I want to have 3 distributors. Once they help those 2 girls do that, you got an emerald. And then so on like that. It has to be able to replicate. It has to be able to duplicate. And I would say the way that we do that is by keeping it so simple. And Mark has given us the greatest gift ever at conference by taking that Ruby and making it so much easier than it used to be. Right? Because like when I went diamond, it was Ruby was 5 and 5 and emerald was 12. And there's all these numbers. And now it's so much easier. All you have to say is you just need 3 people that want to do this with you, and then ask them if they want to do the same thing. And that's how the girls did it so fast. And I have to say that almost every one of them is also in their prayer journal. They're also prayer journaling. They're also asking God for big things, and they're believing God for big things. And I think that mindset and that belief is the biggest part of it. And we're going to talk a little bit about that on Tiffany's call tomorrow. I think it's going to be the gist of what we're talking about. But I sent Adrienne a text earlier, and the text is something I posted to my team page. And I'm going to read it to you. So it's this cute, I don't know if you can see that. It's this little picture, and on the little print, it says, someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. And that's a quote from Rachel Hollis. Yeah. I haven't read the book yet. Can you believe it? I have it, but I haven't read it. I'm reading Fervent by Priscilla Shire. It's like a prayer journaling book. So the quote I put to my team was, and I'm going to read it to you. Did you read that? Read it again. Someone else's opinion of you is none of your business. It's their opinion. It's not that we don't care for others or listen with open hearts when they share with us in love. But the naysayers, the critics, the negative, it's none of your business. So if you're free from worrying about what others think of you, what in the heck is holding you back? They say that this business is 80% what you think and 20% what you do, but I'd venture to say it's more like 90-10. So what are you reading right now that's feeding your brain? What do you allow yourself to think on a daily basis? If you plan to be successful, you must decide daily to grow your mindset and let go of the negative self-talk. So set specific time aside to read, to listen to podcasts, Denise Walsh, Cami, Pam Souter, prayer journal, or if you're, not as much into prayer and you just want to like meditate and write down positive affirmations for yourself. The Bible is my number 1 book. I'll tell you that. Like for where I go for inspiration is scripture first, but then my top favorite books this year that helped grow my mindset immensely is Chasing Daylight by Erwin McManus. He speaks at GLS every year, and he's a pastor at Mosaic Church in LA, and he's incredible. I think a lot of the big ambassadors and leaders this year were reading, what was his other book that he wrote? Not Chasing Daylight, The Last Arrow. It's a very good book, but I like Chasing Daylight better. Get Over Your Damn Self is an amazing book by Romy Neustadt. She's a big entrepreneur. She's Rodan and Fields. Her husband's a doctor. I think she was an attorney. And it's amazing. The other favorite book I have is The Prayer of Jabez. It's an amazing book by Bruce Wilkinson. Cami recommended it a couple of years ago on a Facebook Live, and I read it, and it's changed my life. Chase the Lion by Bruce Wilkinson is incredible. And then 100 Days to Brave is a quick 5-minute devotional by Annie Downs. This is recorded, so you guys can go back and read those. But those list of books are some of the books that help me grow my negative mindset out from where it was and into thinking bigger and then reacting bigger than I had been before in the previous months. And then I would say, lastly, it's just pouring into your team. It really truly is a matter of like signing people up and signing people up and signing people up, and then just keep praying that they're gonna, stick, that they're gonna want to do this. But my tree viewer is like this. It's like this big in reports, and there's the average percentage is probably 15 or 20% of it. Being able to just continue to stick at it and know that you have a gift, and know that this is a blessed company, and know that we have everything in our hands to be successful if we can get through this part right here and then get outside of ourselves and just be super bold and super brave. So that for me was a lot of Facebook Lives. It was a lot of being very vulnerable. You guys have probably seen, I'll sit here sometimes on Facebook Lives with no makeup on first thing in the morning and share what I'm prayer journaling or whatever it is you love. If you're cooking and you're just making something that you really like, just go live and let people watch you make it. Whatever it is that really inspires you and brings you a ton of passion in your life. When you go live doing those things, people sense that passion, and whether it's their passion or not, they sense that excitement and that energy, and they want to know what it's all about. And then they come messaging you and calling you and texting you and saying, all right, girl, what you got? Even though I wasn't talking about it, maybe anything with regards to It Works, I was sharing my passion for the books I was reading. And I did a lot of Facebook Lives about 100 Days to Brave and Chasing Daylight. So it's just being really authentic and vulnerable and transparent on Facebook and social media so that people feel like they know the real thing, So do you guys have any questions? I just did a lot of talking, but it's so exciting.
Gosh, thank you so much. Because I think Michelle told you about prayer journaling when we were at conference, when I first met you in person. And since then, I started prayer journaling, but lately I've been hitting it hard and just putting it all out there. So yeah, definitely I recommend some sort of meditation, prayer journaling, something. But I'll have to check out that fervent book.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's awesome. It goes into some detail on really seriously working through prayer journaling. I didn't know what I was doing. Michelle said, just whatever it is that you would normally pray, instead of praying it out into the air, just put it on paper. Yeah. And I was really open and really, really authentic and really, I'll be happy to read you guys the first page if you want to hear it. It was the first day after conference, and I was just like, Lord, I do not know what this looks like. I don't know what brave and bold looks like, but I just said, I just asked him to build his kingdom here, that he would draw people to us, that they would find a place when they land here that's a loving place, it's a welcoming place, it's a place where they feel grace and mercy, where they can be themselves, where they feel accepted, and that they would find physical, financial, or spiritual life change here. And that we would be humble enough and have his eyes and his ears to see people the way he sees them rather than the way I would see them, because I'm quick to be judgmental, I promise you. I am. Without the Lord, I'm a wretch. So I, just, asking over and over, I don't mean to say that I'm, pleading and begging, but just really, really honest about what it was that I wanted. And so, and then really just praying over the leadership of our company. God put it on my heart to pray over our leadership from the top down. Just, can you imagine the amount of, so they have a lot of that celebrity factor. They have a lot of power at their hands. They are, but such beautiful, beautiful people. And I just, pray over Mark and Cindy and Cami and Kenzie and Kyler and Pam and Mike Patillo and all the way down, Leanne and Nicole and our sideline sisters, Adrienne, you guys, I mean, really just everybody, because when you set out to take territory for something good like this, then you got to be ready to go for it. Mm-hmm. So that was, I think, one of the greatest factors that helped me move my belief beyond the scared little girl hiding in the corner, not wanting anybody to know she was a network marketer, to a place where you're ready to take leadership in the company and really start, growing a big team. So.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah, mindset, belief is everything, guys. So if you guys have any questions for Kari, please, please, please ask, because this is awesome that we have her all to ourselves.
Oh, you guys are so sweet. I love you guys.
But yeah, you guys love you too. I wondered if you could just describe for me a little bit more about your weekly meetings.
Yeah, that's great. So I wish I could take you for a little, well, it doesn't really matter, but I have in my house, in the front room, there's like a family room and a dining room area. I could probably take you for a little walk and show you. It's just a few of you guys, and you guys are my friends. I'll take you with me. I set the chairs up. Initially, we started to sit at our dining room table, and there wasn't that many people. And so I would set up this space right here, right there. So the dining room table, we would put a couple of our favorite products out, all sit around the chairs. There's 8 chairs. And then I printed the Try It presentation that's on your e-suite and put it in those little clear sleeves, and then put a little binder hook on them. So it was a quick flip book of the Try It presentation. And I would just sit at the table and read it and show them the pictures right from the little Try It presentation. I printed it in color, but I have a color printer, and I think it was only like 15 pages or something. It was no big deal. And then as we got more and more people, we didn't fit around that table anymore. So we took all of those chairs and all of the chairs from my kitchen, and I'm going to turn backwards. So you're looking, that's the front door. And so we took this whole space here where the TV is, and the space here where the table is, and we put all of the chairs in rows in front of the TV. So everyone's like facing like rows of 4 and 5 in front of the TV. And then we sit on a little stool at that TV area and connect our laptop to the TV so we can play the Try It presentation on this big screen TV. So all of that is right there behind me, kind of in that space right there. Can you guys all see that? And then we just welcome people in. We don't do snacks or hors d'oeuvres or anything. We just say, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Come on in, pick a seat. Can I get you a water bottle? And all we have is water bottles. And then I'll pick one of my rising stars for the week or the 2 weeks and ask them to do the Try It presentation with me. So if they're Ruby or above, they're going to start taking that leadership responsibility and sitting and sharing the Try It presentation. So if they've made it to Ruby, they've been sitting in that room week after week after week, and they've heard it a lot of times. And so I then have them present it. And a lot of them are like, no, I'm so nervous. I don't want to. I'm like, it's what we do. So have a seat. And it's really great because it gets them outside of their comfort zone and shows them that you can really do this. And then we just go right through it exactly as it says. We read through it. And then at the end, we sample chocolate greens, berry greens, keto coffee, and then collagen. And so I only make one greens in a water bottle, chocolate, berry, and collagen. So only 3 water bottles. I have these little teeny tiny, I guess I have more green than I thought because you asked me to explain it, and I'm giving you every single last detail. We have these tiny little bathroom cups, and we just give them a tiny taste of the greens. And then same thing for the keto coffee. And everybody always loves it. And then we just tell them, get back with the distributor that invited you here. That distributor is usually there. So we might have 6 distributors and 10 guests or something like that. So my girls will always show up even if they don't have a guest, which is a good thing. So when your distributors first get started, I'll tell them, come whether you have a guest or not, just get here because they need to hear it. They need to learn about the products, because every single time you do a try it presentation, somebody is going to share something different about what they love about that product or what it's done for them. So for me, I don't have lupus anymore. My hair is growing long and healthy, but Daisy had chronic migraines, chronic pain, scalp psoriasis, was going off on disability because of her pain, and she's 100% pain-free, big pharma free. So her story is a whole nother story. But then when my friend Tracy Bowman sits up there, she's going to tell you how she lost 28 pounds in 20 days on keto coffee, and, crazy product testimony. And so the new distributors come every single week just so that they can hear more and learn more. And then they see other people bringing guests, and then they feel like, oh, I better start getting some guests here. And then they do. And so it's just giving people a space to go and to show up and to invite others, so that it takes all of the pressure off of them. So like from Tuesday night at 7 to the next Tuesday at 7 is they're brand new. All they have to do is get somebody here, and then that'll grow their business. Of course, all the normal stuff too. Like we work with them on, setting up their e-suite and, that kind of stuff, posting on Facebook, and teaching them host to post and all of that. But the live physical thing once a week is what did it. But again, I want to reiterate, when we first got started, it was just me and Mike and Daisy and Mitch. And there were so many weeks in a row, because we started in July. It was people's summer, that we sat there by ourselves. Or we had 3 guests coming and they all canceled like 5 minutes before. And we're just sitting there all dressed up with nowhere to go. And like, it felt awful. We were like, and like disappointed. But there's a difference in being disappointed and discouraged. Like we were just a little disappointed for a little bit, but we didn't stay discouraged about it, because we knew that we were doing what we were supposed to be doing, and we just kept doing it. So I would say it probably took, for us, I think it was like 3 months before it really caught on and people started to really show up. But what we would do is go live. So if we had all the products out and we had our sparkly shirt on and I brushed my teeth, we would just maybe go live, or, share our favorite products together, or make it look like we were having a great time because we were together, and I love being with Daisy and Mike loves being with Mitch. And so we just made it look like we were having a riot, So
that's awesome. Now,
yeah.
Do you sell any products? What at the same time? Do you sell products at all?
I would if people asked and they really wanted to, but I joke with them because I have like a lot of my products on the table, and I'll say, I just want you guys to know that none of this stuff is for sale. This is like my personal inventory. And so, if you want to get started on these products, you need to get set up so you have your own website, which works better for you anyway, because then you're going to make 10% back every single month. And if you want to take my products with you, then that keto coffee is going to cost you $20 for 5 of them. And that's like $4 a cup. And if you sign up for it, then you're going to be getting it for $2.60 a cup. It's dumb. And so I like to make keto cash. So I just had a girl from church leave my house with a full bag of keto coffee and a full thing of chocolate greens, and she paid me full cash for it. But I gave her the loyal customer price if she would sign up as a loyal customer at the same moment. So I sold my products to her at cost. So $60 or $40 for the keto coffee, $33 for the greens. So I gave her loyal customer pricing because she's a good friend, but also I had an abundance and I was happy to sell it to her and take the cash, because I didn't get my keto coffee for $40. I got my keto coffee in a Fit 30 and it was way cheaper, or I got it with a product reward and it was $25. So I'm still making money. And same with the greens. I only buy my greens in a fit pack usually. So they didn't really cost me $35 or whatever. And so the only way she was getting that price walking out of the door with it was becoming a loyal customer on the spot. Otherwise I would have charged her full price. So at the parties, we don't normally have people with the kind of doubt that they come with when they just want to buy a product and take it with them. Usually they've heard enough things that they want to try over the try it presentation that they sign up as a customer because they want the cheapest price. They want the 10%, and they already know at least 3 or 4 things that they want once they've sat through the presentation. So
that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're running out of time here, a little under 3 minutes, but Laura had a question of how did you invite people? So do you have like a script or something like when you're following up with people, or what do you do?
Here's the funny thing. My girl Tiffany is the best. She just said to all of her friends locally, you want to come to a try it with me? I need you to come take a look at this and tell me what you think. What is it? You'll see when you get here. You're going to try a whole bunch of cool stuff. You're going to meet a whole bunch of awesome girls. And then I really want your opinion once you've come and you've tried everything. I want you to tell me what you think about this company. I had girls showing up at my house by accident on Monday night instead of Tuesday. Is Tiffany here? I'm like, no, girl, it's Tuesday. And they're looking through my door because I keep all this stuff on the dining room table usually. And they're like, oh, what is all this stuff? I'm like, you mean to tell me you're coming here and you have no idea what you're coming for? They're like, no, Tiffany said come. They have no idea. And I think it's beautiful. It's brilliant. I'm like, don't try to tell them it's greens, it's reps, it's skinny coffee, it's blah, blah, blah. She's just like, you just got to come, girl. We have so much fun. You're going to laugh your head off. You're going to try some great stuff. And it's all so good for you. You just got to come. And they did.
That is awesome.
She's got mystery and suspense.
Yeah. And excitement. She was so excited for people to come and meet her girls, her new like posse of girls. And she was so excited for them to like taste this stuff that she was like, you just have got to get here. And she was so excited, but they had no idea what they were in for. It was funny.
Awesome.
And she was so successful. She week after week after week after week has the most guests all the time.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's awesome. It is. And her team is duplicating fast. And so it's working. So I would say that probably is the secret sauce. Although for me, I post a lot on Facebook. So I'll get people asking me about certain things. And rather than explaining it over and over and over on Facebook or trying to give tons of details, I'll say, hey, can you just come on Tuesday? Just try it for yourself. That way you can try it before you buy it. And I just make them come over.
That's great. Well, we're a little under a minute. So I think we'll just wrap up. Shishi, did you have anything really quick?
No, this is all great.
I'm so glad we recorded this for everyone who did not get on. I mean, come on now. But
thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much for being on. I'm so glad, like, even though plans changed, we were still able to get on and do this. And
I love you guys.
We love you too. Just so much. And I can't.
Tiffany's call tomorrow.
Yes, get on the Team TNT call. We will share that in the messenger group, and you should be on TNT Legends anyways, or TNT Legends, whatever the page is called. But yeah, so thank you guys. Have a great night, and awesome.